Eric, what was your initial reaction when you found out you were going to be on the show?
Yeah, I lost it. I mean, this is crazy. This is friggin' crazy. I mean, right now I haven't ever left my small town. I live in Pinckney, Michigan. It's the middle of nowhere pretty much. Someone calls me up and say, hey, you're friggin' hilarious. We want to talk to you. We want to see you.
Of all the fans, Erik is probably the most excited to be here. You can just see it. It's almost like he's hovering when he walks. He's just so happy. I hope he's able to calm down and get into the game.
Everybody knows me because I have this big dumb hair on my head, and they see me, and they're running up to me. They're like, I love you on that show. You're so funny, you're whatever. And I'm like, it's crazy. I've never done this before. I've never experienced something like that.
Every season of Survivor is a story, but sometimes that story can be told over the course of multiple seasons. This video will be covering Erik Reichenbach, and if you don't know Erik, you will see very quickly why he became a Survivor legend that to this day, the show cannot stop obsessing over. Simply saying his name will cause a flood of comments asking you one specific question. Did you know that Erik gave up? Well, let me not spoil it. Let's get into his first season, Survivor Micronesia.
39 days, 20 people, 1 Survivor.
Erik Reichenbach, a 21-year-old ice cream scooper from Michigan, was a castaway on Survivor's 16th season, Survivor Micronesia. I'm not gonna hold back from you. Erik is a legend in the Survivor community. This season and his story is still talked about to this day on the show. They can't stop bringing it up. I would say almost more than anyone else, including Boston Rob, who is like Jeff's boyfriend. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. This is fans versus favorites, essentially a tribe of 10 people who the show claims are fans, though I would argue they're more an eclectic group than anything else, and 9 favorites from seasons 9 through 15. We are back in Palau for the first time since season 10, and right out the gate, the show establishes that these favorites are powerhouses, with Penner saying this is going to be the Boston Red Sox versus a bunch of scrubs. Jeff then says, welcome new players to a season we designed to destroy you. Now, he doesn't say that exactly, but he might as well. We then meet the favorites, who include Amy, Eliza, Suri, Penner, Parvati, Yaman, James, and Amanda. But I kind of failed to mention one more person on the favorites cast to round them out to 10 members.
The most infamous of all survivors, Johnny Fairplay, who already looks intoxicated.
I wanted to throw up when I saw Johnny Fairplay. He's a pig. He's a loser pig. I would just love one moment to kick him. One moment, just to kick him hard in the shin.
So, Fairplay, are you dressing like me?
You want to know what you're playing for?
I'm actually impressed. I like to know that you have aspirations to get out of your current place in life.
Wow.
Yeah, they brought back Fairplay too, the only player from the original 7 seasons. Not many people like Fairplay, including some of my close friends and family, but I think he's hilarious. So what does that say about me? Anyways, we meet Erik, who introduces himself to us by saying,
I know a lot about Ozzy simply in terms of competition. He just owned almost all the challenges, but I myself am a track and cross country runner. I think I have what it takes to compete at that level.
Yeah, we're gonna see about that. Ozzy had an amazing run at Cook Islands with 5 individual immunity wins, 1 individual reward win, along with single-handedly winning his tribe challenges when they needed it the most in the face of massive opposition. That's a lot to compete with. Jeff then says across this water is an idol for each tribe. Whoever gets it is safe at their very first tribal council. And go. In a surprising fashion, Erik beats Ozzy across the water by a mile, but despite his physical prowess, he can't find the idol. Kathy gets it instead. We then see the tribe split up and go to their respective camps, and if you recall Palau, the favorites land on that beautiful but cursed Oolong Beach, and the fans end up on the inferior but lucky Karor Beach, where Tom murdered that shark. We then meet Kathy and...
Okay, you're homosexual. Okay. Do you prefer gay? I don't even know the right word to use.
You're cool so far, go ahead.
It doesn't mean like you want to be a girl, right?
No, heavens no.
You know what? I hope you can be my first gay man friend.
Well, I absolutely will.
Because I've never had a gay man friend.
I bet you have, but you just don't know.
I've never seen him play, ever. I've never seen him up close.
Who said I had
real quick, lady.
I guess sometimes it pays to keep your mouth shut, but I can't help myself.
I think that montage kind of says it all. Kathy is the biggest goof to play Survivor in a long time, and I say that in a loving fashion because I am enamored by the chaos. Now, this first day, they don't get a good shelter built, and it pours on them. all night long. We then go to the immunity challenge where Jeff asks everyone, how are you all doing? And the fans say, yeah, this sucks. But for the favorites?
We're doing 3 courses for every meal. It's ridiculous. I'm getting fat. I've gained weight since I've been here. Joel, you buying all this?
No.
You guys are dumber than you look. First, immunity challenge is won by the fans!
Oh, and Fair Play's voted off at the first tribal council. But that's it for the premiere. And who the heck is Erik? The show has presented him as someone who thinks they can compete against Ozzy, and that's about it. Not much to go on and not really what you expect when I say this is the story of a Survivor legend, but let's carry on. By the way, if you want to pick who I cover for story videos like this one, then consider supporting Once Upon an Island on Patreon. It only costs a few bucks a month, and we are picking new story videos every month. You can cancel at any time, link in the description. Episode 2 sees the fans tribe working on their fire, and while Alexis gets it going, she also loses it immediately. We then meet Chet, who people don't really care for as he isn't much help around camp, and we then see Kathy, the goof, whining that they don't have a shelter, and Joel, the meathead, says, if you want a shelter, then build it yourself. Tensions are running high, but what is good news for Erik is that people say Kathy, Tracy, and Chet are on the outs while Erik is good to go. But then the others pitch in to get the fire going, and voila, it happens. Thankfully, Kathy even works on the shelter, and hey, it looks good. Unfortunately, at the immunity challenge, Chet is so bad. I mean, this guy is awful at every challenge he will be in throughout the whole season, as he holds the entire tribe back and they lose immunity. Thanks, Chet. But then Jeff drops a twist on everyone when he says Exile Island is back this season. Oh, and there is an idol hidden there somewhere. Since the favorites won the challenge, they get to pick who goes, and they send Suri and Kathy. Fun. Back at camp, Joel says, I don't like that Mikey is challenging my alpha position in this game.
Joel suggested that we, along with Alexis, work together to get rid of Mary. And it could be a good idea because Mikey is a really smart guy and he knows what he's doing here. It's pretty diabolical, but I mean, come on.
It's what the game is, bro.
Yeah. If I'm thinking though, why not Mikey instead of...
Because I think as far as us continuing to win, we would need him in some of our competitions.
Yeah, then why not just knock out Mikey? Who is Mary anyways? Seriously, who's Mary? I don't know. What did she do wrong? I also don't know, but I think we can blame Chet for this one. So at Tribal Council, the vote goes down, and Mary, who we barely knew, is gone in a 6-2 vote.
Mary, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Episode 3 starts and Mikey's like, what the heck? Why did you knock out my girl over Kathy, Tracy, or Chet? Chet sucks at challenges. Even if Chet is not responsible for a loss, trust me, he's responsible for the loss. Speaking of losing challenges thanks to Chet, they sit him out at the next reward challenge, and then the fans still lose reward. What the heck, Chet? You weren't even in the challenge and you caused a loss. But Erik himself went all out on this challenge when he plays like a pro wrestler. So once again, Kathy is sent to exile. That last reward challenge came with a tarp, so when it rains, the favorites are doing well, but for the fans, they suffer. That shelter that the fans built that Kathy was in charge of, yeah, it looked good. It just wasn't very functional. But I will give the fans credit. They win immunity despite Chet. So we hop on over to episode 4 where Ozzy hacks the reward challenge and wins it for the favorites. Thanks, Chet, thanks. We then go back to camp where we finally hear Erik speak for the first time in what feels like forever.
Kathy's a weak person. The other team definitely sees this just by the way Kathy is. I mean, I'm pretty confident she's not looking for that idol right now. I'm pretty confident she's curled up in the fetal position, just trying to stay alive.
I don't care about the immunity idol. I mean, I did that, done that, been there. I don't feel like doing it no more.
Now, what Erik doesn't know, and neither does anyone else, but I have to tell you since it will matter later, is that Ozzy finds the idol and plants a terrible looking fake. Like, you need to be an idiot to think production planted a stick with a face on it as an idol with no note attached. The fans then lose immunity. Thanks, Chet. And at Tribal Council, everyone is discussing the dilemma of tribe strength. Does that mean strength for challenges, or does it mean strength in the relationships that will carry them to the end? Erik says he leans towards the latter, but then it happens. Chet is not voted out and Mikey is instead gone in a 6-3 vote.
Mike, tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Episode 5 has Jeff saying, time for some fun. Drop your buffs. We are switching up tribes. Finally, maybe Erik can get some screen time and get away from Chet. He lands on the Molokol tribe with Amanda, Amy, Suri, Ozzy, Joel, Tracy, and Chet. Great, now they're gonna keep losing every challenge. Thanks, Chet. You think I am joking, don't you? The Chet curse is real. Despite Erik and Ozzy dominating their portion of the reward challenge, the tribe loses thanks to...
Joel's got him cornered. Just misses the flag. Joel trying to drag Chet, takes a hard fall. 3, 2, 1. Joel and Chet cannot catch Comedy and Eliza.
I'll get my head.
I don't care.
I know.
Thanks, Chet. At the new camp, Erik says this tribe is a big improvement over the last one now that he is with Ozzy, but he will try to not let the favorites cloud his judgment. We then see Ozzy and Joel come to a head about who to vote out first when it comes time to vote.
After we were out on the water, we had a little conversation on the beach between mainly Joel and Ozzy, and I kind of listened in, and it was kind of like two superpowers kind of discussing terms.
I think it is, to a degree, still fans versus favorites. But either the favorites have to swing a fan over to their side, or the fans have to swing a favorite over to their side. Somebody's going to have to flip.
Well, it isn't Erik, though it would be weird if it was Erik and they said it right in front of him. At the immunity challenge, you're not gonna guess this one, but they actually lose it due to Joel and Chet. Thanks, Chet. So after multiple tribal councils where Chet was targeted but not eliminated, everyone goes to vote and they finally get rid of Chet.
I'm voting for Chet tonight. We want to stay strong as a tribe and take it easy.
First vote. Joel. Chet. 1 vote Joel, 1 vote Chet. Chet. 2 votes Chet. Joel. 2 votes Joel. Joel. That's 3 votes Joel. Joel. That's 4 votes Joel. 5th person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites. Joel. Joel, tribe has spoken. Time for the go.
What the heck, Chet? How is he still here over Joel? In all seriousness, Joel was targeted over Chet since he is an actual big player come the merge, and Chet is just merely a pawn. No one views him as a threat. Episode 6 sees Erik saying, wow, I am the only one who voted alongside Joel, and clearly I'm on the outs. It might be high time to start lying to others like they have been clearly lying to me. He then talks to Tracy, who says if they can flip a favorite to their side, then this tribe will be 4-3 in their favor. She thinks Amy is the most likely favorite to be flipped, and to be fair, Tracy even talks Amy into flipping. Tracy makes that happen. But then at the reward challenge, they lose. Thanks, Chet. So Jason and Chet are sent to exile. Good, get rid of him. At the immunity challenge, everyone finds out that Penner was pulled due to a knee injury that got infected, and yeah, he had to go to the hospital. Jeff then inquires with Jason about the idol, and he says Ozzy has it. Weirdly enough, Jason is dead on. Dude is smart. Obviously, he must have found the fake idol and realized, yeah, duh, production would never plant a stick with a face on it. That's just dumb. But then we see Irai hack the challenge and win immunity. Thanks, Chet. Why couldn't you hack the challenge and win Molokol immunity? Back at camp, Chet says, yeah, I have a foot injury, vote me out, which by the way is the smartest thing he said all season. But on a real note, they kind of need Chet to make this flip happen, so they really don't want him gone. Erik and Tracy try talking him out of this, as this tribal is crucial to flip the numbers, but Chet won't budge.
I'm like dying from this. You could help take Ozzy down because he's not expecting it. This would be the craziest play ever in the history of this game if you helped us do this. If you did this for us, it would be the biggest gift you could give us on the way out, to just take a little pride. Me and Tracy would be so grateful. We would be amazingly grateful for that. That you could use your last dying breath to do something for us in this game. I would be incredibly
Just think about
grateful.
it, okay?
I did tell Trace and Erik I would think about it, and I will continue to think about it. But to be honest, I'm not sure what I'm going to do.
I am trying to make heads or tails of what happens next, as the show makes no effort to explain this vote, because Tracy and Chet vote for Erik, but what did he do? And Chet is voted out 5-2.
Chet, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Episode 7 starts and something is happening. Could this be a potential bromance between Erik and Ozzy?
Ozzy is amazing. I honestly like Ozzy. He's an awesome guy. And I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to go outside the small scope that I've lived in and just see a lot more of the world.
Erik and Ozzy are like the Lion King. The father, when he was teaching the cub, and you can just see like stars. Whenever he says Ozzy's name, like stardust comes out of his mouth. Erik just is like, Ozzy.
Now, they would be a deadly duo in challenges come the merge, but they might get in each other's way as a result. However, Ozzy votes emotionally, and as long as Erik doesn't backstab him, he should be good. With Chet gone, a miracle takes place. They win reward with Erik on the puzzle. Wow. Thanks, Chet. The Chet curse is real. While on reward, Ozzy has a little fun with his on-island girlfriend Amanda, and...
I think that's a shower right there. Yeah.
You want to go shower?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. Amy, come on.
My goodness. Ooh-wee. I don't know, I just looked over and there's like a couple pair of boobs in Ozzy's head, smack dab in the middle. I'm like, okay. The only thing funnier was Erik drooling from the side.
Back at camp, Cirie and Amanda talk about Ozzy and how arrogant he is because Ozzy has really been getting on Cirie's nerves, which doesn't help when Erik's fangirling over Ozzy and Cirie gets really annoyed at him. She says, what would it take to get rid of Erik? We then go to the immunity challenge and surprise, surprise, Kathy, the goof, has quit the game. Maybe because she was sent to exile 3 times in a row, or maybe because at the other camp they just keep getting rained on over and over and over again. Either way, Ozzy goes complete beast mode during this challenge and single-handedly gives his tribe a massive lead just for them to blow it. Thanks, chat. Back at camp, talks are abound about flipping on the favorites, but Erik, Tracy, and Amy are not enough. They think they could sway Cirie or Amanda to vote Ozzy. I mean, Cirie is mad at Ozzy anyways, but there is no one who says yes to this, unfortunately. At Tribal Council, Jeff brings up leadership in the tribe, and everyone says, yeah, that's Ozzy, which Ozzy doesn't like. He doesn't want to be labeled the leader, even though they're right, he is the leader. But then the vote happens, and Tracy is gone 5-1.
Tracy, the tribe has spoken.
I am scared to death because I'm the last fan left, and I don't think I see any leeway with these favorites. I feel like I'm the next to go, no matter what happens now in the future.
Erik should be scared. He is the last fan, and the way things have been going, it is time to pray for a merge so he can blend into a group again. But that isn't happening today. As Survivor throws a new twist out, each tribe gets to send an opposing player to exile. That player cannot compete in immunity. So unfortunately for Erik's tribe, Ozzy is sent to exile, putting immunity squarely on Erik's shoulders. But hold on, Jeff hasn't even told everyone what they're playing for yet.
All right, you guys ready to get to today's challenge?
How about what we're playing for?
How about first you give me immunity back? How about that?
I love Annoyed Jeff. The immunity challenge is essentially run down an obstacle course, avoiding bags thrown by players, retrieve a flag at the end and bring it back. So can Erik win this and save his hide in the game?
Go! Erik leaps across the stepping stones. Erik and Jason both across the first part of this course. Erik hanging on, almost falls off, but doesn't. Nice save. Erik once again leaps across the stepping stones.
Go.
Erik back with the second flag from Molokol. We're tied 2-2. Amanda's across. We're tied 3-3. Erik leaps again. Irai leads 4-3. Erik across. We're tied 4-4. Erik goes back out and takes a hard hit. He's out. Jason with that 5th and final flag for Irai. Pizza and beer. Irai wins immunity.
Great. He's a goner. Erik even straight up says, I'm a dead man walking, but he's going to try everything to stay in the game. He then talks to Cirie and Amanda and then Ozzy with a bold tactic that is a bit risky.
How well do you guys trust Amy?
I don't know. Why?
Because she's been trying to get something together with the Irais since probably Joel left. She's told me about different alliances that you guys have had. She said that she was part of Yowman's alliance, and she said she had nowhere to go, and that's why she came to me and Chet and Tracy.
Then we merge it and go right back to Irai.
It's either me or Amy on their side. I mean,
Wow. You don't know who to trust here. You have Erik fighting for his life, who'll say anything right now, will sell his soul to the devil to stay. Then you have Amy, who's proven time and time again that she can't be trusted, that I can't trust her.
Are you telling him everything since day one?
trying to.
So you're being totally honest that Amy was...
Yes.
Was Amy... Did Amy try and get me out?
Yes. Okay. I'm going to write down Amy tonight. I just want you to know that.
Right.
And I would like you to help me as a fellow competitor to stay in this game.
Now that is some good gameplay. He has backed Amy into a corner, and it is clear by how he is interacting and how she is reacting that what he's telling is the truth. At Tribal Council, Amy tries a tactic as well. It's a tactic where you cry and cry and cry and try to win people over by lying through your tears. Now it doesn't work for her. Erik wins, so she is voted off 4-1.
Amy, the tribe has spoken.
What a baller move on Erik's part. Back at camp, he can't hardly believe he made it and that his completely honest strategy worked. He didn't have to lie at all. Now, he may have left out that he wanted to vote out Ozzy at one point, but no one asked. He says in a perfect world, tomorrow would be the merge. And speaking of a world without Chet ruining challenges,
Make your way to the location designated on the map immediately.
We're merging.
Yeah, I think we're merging.
Make your way to the location designated on the map immediately. Today is cause for celebration. You are merged.
I want you to know I'm not flipping to any other side. I owe it to you guys 100%. One thing that did come out of last night is that rather than be in opposition to Ozzy, one of the most powerful players in the game, I am now allied with him in some kind of like zookeeper bond. Like I'm more of the monkey and he's the zookeeper now because I owe him my life now.
That's a good call by Erik. Ozzy will remain loyal if Cook Islands and so far this season is anything to go by. Just as long as you pull your weight and are honest with him, he'll stick with you. While celebrating the merge with a feast, everyone is like, what should we name the tribe? And Erik apparently knows some of the local culture and language, which I'm a bit surprised by.
I was thinking of a tribe name, like the name for good here is Dabu.
Our new tribe, Good Time with Dabu.
I told everybody that Dabu means good in Micronesian, but really I pretty much just made it up. I love that everyone thinks like, oh, Erik looked up Micronesian. Hell no, I didn't look up Micronesian. I just wanted to name the tribe something funny. For all I care, it could have been Momo or like Fashizzle or something. I don't know.
This is the first ever instance of someone tricking the rest of the tribe into a dumb merge name that means nothing. Fun fact, this channel's logo, once upon an island, was made by Erik, who now runs a company called Dabu Doodles. Highly recommend. Anyways, Jason wins immunity and Parvati says, I want Eliza out. This is all good news. Those IRI folks went on far too long without a tribal, and the favorites hold a 6-4 lead over the fans. So at Tribal Council, everyone votes. And hold on, is Eliza playing an idol?
If anybody has the hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. The rules of Survivor state that if a hidden immunity idol is played, then any votes cast against that person do not count.
There we go, baby. Well, I guess this is the hidden immunity idol. It's not much, but it's the carving of a piece of wood with the little guy on it, and this is pretty incredible, so I'm gonna have to hold on to this tight. This means Ozzy doesn't have it, I have it, so this is really good for me.
Eliza's getting voted out. Eliza has been my biggest rival, I think, since the beginning of this game. It's in my bag.
That's on your finger.
This isn't it. This is so stupid. This is just a napkin. What are you trying to pull? I'm going home anyhow. Why? It's not the idol.
It is the idol.
It's not the idol.
Yes, it is.
Ozzy must have put it in there. He must have the real thing. That's not the idol.
What is it?
It's a stick.
I know. It has a face on it. Don't worry.
Ozzy put it on there, made a face on it.
No, he didn't.
It's not the idol.
Why do you say that?
Because that can't be the idol.
Why not?
Because it's just a stick.
I know.
This is not a hidden immunity idol.
That means Ozzy has it. Jason found it on Exile.
Joe, come on. That took hours to make.
Remember when Jason said that Ozzy had the idol? Jason was right, but he thought he was bluffing. He thought he had the idol and he would trick everyone to thinking Ozzy had it, and turns out Jason was telling the truth and he didn't even mean to. He thought he was gonna save Eliza. Perfect. The vote goes down and Eliza's gone 8-2.
Eliza, the tribe has spoken.
Episode 10 sees Erik on the team winning reward, and as a result, they get to visit a local village for the night and partake in some of the activities there. This is a life-changing experience for our protagonist.
Gap is a little island nation
all by itself in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and I've never even heard of Yap. But a lot of people haven't even heard of Hickney where I've grown up, so I kind of relate to that little tiny country. This village looked out of time. It was almost like this village had been there for millions of years. I was expecting a dinosaur to come out of the woods and kind of...
I really love just going places with Erik because he has this naive, wide-eyed sense about things. Erik hasn't really traveled around too many places in the world, so he's really just experiencing all this stuff for the first time, and the innocence that he has and the way he really like takes things in like wholeheartedly, it's wonderful.
I found it interesting that all their women were topless. I'm sitting there ready to eat my food and the lunch lady doesn't have a shirt on. Oh my gosh. That was a little culturally interesting for me. I mean, it wasn't a huge deal, but that's the most boobs I've probably seen in my whole life. Is that beetle nut? I need to get some beetle nut. Oh, I feel it in my mouth. It's a little weird. The beetle nut, it relaxed me a lot. Maybe a little too much. That night, after much beetle nut and Micronesian beer, I thought, okay, time to call it a night. Damn that beetle nut.
Thankfully, Erik had a feast, so he's doing well. I say this because at the immunity challenge, their task is to hold their arm above their head and make sure the bucket does not drop the water on their body. If they do this, they win immunity. But Jeff keeps tempting each of them with food. It is all easier said than done. So when Jeff offers the first temptation of candy,
Big bowl of candy. 1, 2, 3. 3 and Erik up out of the challenge for a bowl of candy.
What in the Nickelodeon is going on around here?
I mean, come on, Erik. Not that anyone is targeting him, but still. Ozzy even drops for some food, and that's pretty bad. It all comes down to Jason and Parvati. Ozzy and Erik want Jason gone to have one less challenge threat in the game. So Jason says the only way I am dropping is if everyone here promises me they're not voting me out. Erik says, of course I won't vote for you. Spoiler alert, Erik is going to vote out Jason. So at Tribal Council, Erik and Ozzy implement their plan to vote out Jason, and in a 5-4 vote,
If anybody has the hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay. First vote. Jason. Jason. 2 votes, Jason. Jason. 3 votes, Jason. Jason. That's 4 votes, Jason. Ozzy. 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 That's 4 votes, Jason. 3 votes, Ozzy. Ozzy. We're tied. 10th person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites, and the second member of our jury, Ozzy. Ozzy, tribe has spoken.
What in the what? People saw their chance to eliminate Ozzy before he goes on a hot streak and wins everything, and they took it. Heck, Ozzy left his idol back at camp, so it is on him as well. Back at camp, Erik says, good job on the blind side, not telling me because I would have told Ozzy if the info had leaked. Now what Erik is doing here is just being his usual honest self, but what he is unintentionally doing that is actually helping him is saying, I am loyal to my alliances, which is good or bad depending on who you are in this game. It is now time for the amazing Survivor auction that should happen way more often on the show. The first item Erik bids on, he wins. But it's covered, so Jeff says you get an option here. You can either keep the item you bought or switch it for this other item. Erik says, I'm gonna swap it. And this is the right call because he gets nachos instead of octopus. Natalie Bolton, a fellow fan who has been pretty quiet so far in the game, starts to become an important figure of the season starting now as she is given the power to send someone to exile and steal their auction money. So she decides to send
Jason.
Jason going to Exile Island.
But this is also good for Jason if he gets the immunity idol. Like, I don't know why he's tripping.
That's true. This time, maybe you'll get a real one.
Keep in mind, pretty much everyone wants to vote Jason off next as a challenge threat. He has won in immunity and almost won the last one as well. But then Natalie wins another bid, this time for cake, where she gets to share it with Parvati, Amanda, and Suri. So when Jeff closes the auction...
How much you say you're gonna pay?
I'd say $20 to lick your fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
Oh, that's sad. Something's wrong with that boy.
James really says it all. Back at camp, everyone assumes that Jason found the new idol in exile, which is a safe assumption. So someone else needs to be voted off unless they could somehow trick Jason into not playing his idol. But more importantly is that today is Erik's birthday. Natalie even says, we don't want to vote off Erik, so Jason needs to lose. At the challenge, she whispers in Jason's ear, hey, don't worry about it, you're safe. And Jason seems to buy this, and it all comes down to him, James, and Erik.
Erik wins immunity! Congratulations. Erik, safe tonight at Tribal Council. For the rest of you, somebody is going home tonight.
Back at camp, the women decide, yeah, obviously it's Jason, but we're gonna split the votes just in case he does play his idol. So at Tribal Council,
Erik, you have the immunity necklace unless you want to do something crazy and give it to somebody else.
I'm not crazy. I think I'm going to keep it.
11th person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites, and the third member of our jury, Jason. Jason, the tribe has spoken.
I know Jeff has to ask that question about the necklace, but come on, it's a no-brainer. Especially since with Ozzy and Jason gone, Erik's best bet is to win out on immunities to reach the final three. Very possible given his competition and James having an injured hand that I am just now telling you about, though it has been developing. This is important because medical has to come out and work on his hand since it is infected, very similar to Penner's knee injury he had in the pre-merge. But then surprise, surprise, it's time for the Loved Ones Challenge.
You look so funny.
I know, I got a beard. I got a beard. Jeff Probst. That's Jeff Probst. You just standing there.
Erik, you're a freak.
What a nerd. Who obsesses over Survivor like that? Get a real job once upon an island. So Erik does not win, and back at camp, surprise, surprise, James is pulled from the game. That is now 3 people who have left this season early. Chet was even going to leave if he wasn't voted out, so that would have been 4. Thanks, chat. Cerise says all of the men are gone except Erik. He is next. So at the immunity challenge, with his life on the line,
Erik with his first bottle. Erik connects again. Erik with his second bottle. If you hit your third bottle, you win immunity. Erik does it. Erik wins immunity. Erik is safe at tonight's vote. One of you 5 women going home tonight.
That's pretty much the only move Erik has of right now because the women have all called themselves the Black Widow Brigade and they plan on eliminating all the men. Amanda was sent to exile, and upon her return, she says, I didn't find a new idol on exile, and she's telling the truth. Erik then talks to Alexis and says, we may need to look at targeting Amanda since he thinks she would be really good in front of a jury. If you have seen Amanda on Survivor China, then you would know that what Erik is saying here is hilariously wrong, but I can't hold that against him. Survivor China hadn't finished airing before the season began filming, so I'm not gonna call it dumb, but it's kind of dumb only because we know. But then Amanda hears her name is thrown out, and she starts guilt tripping him.
I'm kind of the one who helped keep you in this game, you know? And like when you needed my help, I helped you out.
I feel like you could beat me in a challenge coming up. I honestly
But I helped you out, and I knew that you were a threat. That's what bothers me, Erik. If you're gonna vote for me, then just tell me.
I feel like, yeah, I'm going to.
Erik's honesty is biting him in the butt, and Amanda is leagues above Amy as a player in the game. This is not going to be as easy as getting rid of Amy. Then at Tribal Council, she starts trash talking him to the jury, and Erik, this man, does nothing to retaliate or dispute.
When he needs someone, he comes across trustworthy. But then when you need Erik for something, he finds greener grasses somewhere else. That's pretty much how it is.
Amanda directly, I think, is blaming me for the fact that I have to make a decision between who's staying, who's going.
But you have to understand, like, I helped you stay here through the merge, and then I was asking for your help this time, and you clearly denied me of that. And yeah, I'm mad about it. I'm pretty pissed off right now.
Jeff then hilariously asks Erik if he wants to give up his necklace to anyone, and he says, no, obviously not. A real waste of time on Jeff's part. So everyone goes to vote, and
if anybody has the hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so.
About that, Jeff.
But I got it.
This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Amanda do not count. First vote, Amanda, does not count. Amanda, does not count. Amanda, does not count. Amanda, does not count. Alexis, 12th person voted out a survivor and the 5th member of our jury. Alexis. The tribe has spoken.
Me nor Amanda was lying when she told you she didn't have the idol from Exile because it was actually hidden at camp and they didn't show her finding it in the show. Talk about blindsiding the audience. But this is it. 2 episodes left in the season, and here's where Erik becomes a legend. It's a lot, so forgive me for having to condense so much. All 42 minutes tell a crazy story here in this episode. So we're in episode 13 and we see Erik saying Amanda made him look like a fool last night and he needs to go to Exile to get the new idol. He then talks with Natalie and says, if I happen to win reward, happenstance, because I can't throw it for whatever reason, I will send you, since we're the only 2 fans left and we gotta get this band together. He then talks to Amanda and
I'm looking to whatever this reward is.
If you take me, I'll take you.
What are your thoughts on Exile today? Natalie was pushing for me to possibly go. Like she wanted me to go.
Of course she wants
and
you to
I don't want to go at all.
She wants you to be weaker for the next challenge. You're good at thinking, Erik. Like you're almost there sometimes.
Almost there. I mean, it's not all hair up on my head.
Amanda is being so manipulative. How she went from what she said last night to this is beyond me. But this is a masterclass that Erik can't see through yet. She does a great job of making it sound like her back is against the wall as well. Partially true given that without the idol, she would have been voted out last night. But then at the reward challenge,
Erik wins reward.
Survivor!
Who are you sending to Exile Island?
I'm pretty sure that I want to send Parvati to Exile Island.
You're going to choose one person to go with you.
So I'm going to pick Amanda.
Oh,
Come on over, Amanda.
thank you for keeping your word. Totally redeemed.
but the real question is, why did he send Parvati to Exile instead of Natalie? He explains he brought Amanda on reward over Natalie so he could enjoy himself since Natalie's a bit uptight. Also, I think Amanda's closer to Erik's age, which probably is a big factor, but that doesn't explain the Exile decision. Amanda has her grip on this boy. He tells her the stress of this situation he finds himself in is too much for an ice cream boy, so maybe he needs to become an ice cream man. It's kind of a joke, but also it's kind of serious. Back at camp, Erik doesn't know what to do. Does he stick with Natalie, the only fan left? Does he go with Amanda when he thinks she will dominate Final Tribal? Or does he go with Suri and Parvati, who are smaller threats in his eyes?
Do you think if Natalie was sitting next to you, she'd beat you hands down? Or you think if Amanda was sitting next to you, she'd beat you hands down?
So maybe me, you, and Parv should go to the end and do that instead.
That would mean we would get rid of who?
Either Nat or Amanda.
Erik then sees all the women talking after knowing he's being wishy-washy, telling them all different things. They are essentially screwing with his mind, and frankly, he doesn't know who he needs to sit next to at the final 3 to win. Truly, he has no idea. And I don't have a clear-cut answer for you either. If I had to pick somebody, I'd pick Natalie and Amanda based on everything I know. But I live in the future. I'm not playing in this game at the moment. So when he talks to Amanda again, she guilt trips him.
I feel like all the women here think that I'm full of crap.
Well, you need to pick one side or the other. You can't keep flipping to you don't want to be with me because you think I'm a threat, and then you want to vote me out, and then all of a sudden we're like best friends.
This is it. If Erik can win Final 5 immunity and guarantee himself a spot at Final 4 and get someone like Amanda voted off, he has an amazing shot to win out and get to Final Tribal. So what happens?
Erik thinks he has it. Guaranteed Final 4. Erik wins immunity once again. Erik is guaranteed a spot in the Final 4.
You know, it's too bad the season doesn't have a Final 2. Everyone knows it's a Final 3. Because if there was, Erik could win 5 immunities in a row and match his idol in Ozzy. This is now 3 wins, and since he is safe, he is open to pretty much any plan the girls want. So when Natalie talks to him,
I had the most harebrained idea.
Harebrained, I can relate.
What if me, you, and Suri vote Amanda tonight? You give me your necklace. Suri said she would hands down vote for Amanda. That's all we need.
I kind of see what Natalie's saying, but to redeem himself in front of the jury would be just to claim his strategy and say, hey, my back goes up against the wall against all these women who eliminated the men. And if these women really do feel betrayed by Erik, then they could be bitter when choosing who to win at all. Erik, being a super fan, knows this. He then talks to Suri, who says, yes, if you give Natalie your necklace, I will know for a fact that you're not being wishy-washy and that you're actually going to vote for Amanda like you said you would. AKA, that's the numbers he needs to eliminate the only other big challenge threat on the board. Since Parvati was sent to exile, Erik is overthinking when he says, what if she gives Amanda the idol? He would like to vote out Parvati instead. Natalie and Suri both say, sure, we can do that. That's fine. So we go to tribal council and Amanda and Parvati are just laying it on thick.
Heard about Erik running around and making alliances with every single person and then breaking their alliances and then switching back up and switching back over. when he didn't even need to do that. He'd won immunity for the past 3 times in a row.
Well, that's what I'm coming forward about right now. That's what I'm trying to say right now.
But it's too late, don't you see?
I mean, you've just lost a lot of respect among the women here that you're sitting with.
I know this.
Erik's jury management is so bad. I would say he's playing a second or third place game here. His handling of the situation, it's not great. Suri even says redemption is very important if you want to win this game. At least that's what she has learned. So it is time when Jeff asks the question that no longer seems as ridiculous as before.
Erik, you have the individual immunity necklace. As always, you can give it up to somebody if you choose to.
And I know that actions do speak louder than words. I want to give individual immunity to Natalie.
First vote, Erik. Parvati. Erik. 2 votes, Erik. 13th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury. Erik.
You guys drive me crazy.
Erik, the tribe has spoken.
Yeah, so I kind of left you in the dark about a lot of things to give you Erik's point of view. Let's rewind and see how the women colluded to make this happen. Strap in for how the show makes Erik look like the biggest idiot of all time. We are back at the beginning of episode 13, and all of the women say Erik has to go no matter what or he will win this game. Heck, Amanda even says Erik is so naive and I'm going to take advantage of that. After Erik wins reward and takes Amanda with him, Natalie is fuming with Suri back at camp.
Like if Erik seriously wanted to get Amanda out, it would have been a surefire thing to send me to exile, not Parvati.
Erik is a little weasel.
Are you ready for another blind side? Remember that conversation Erik had with Suri about going to Final 3 with her and Parvati? Natalie overheard the entire thing. Yeah, if you go back and see how I cut that conversation earlier, I used footage to cut around us seeing her watch, but in the actual show, oh, she's right there and we see it. And he never knows. Suri then tells Amanda that Erik said he wants to go with Suri and Parvati to the end, and essentially the women love how dumb he is and how they can easily take advantage of his ignorance. But this next conversation is crucial as this takes place right after Erik wins immunity and right before that conversation with Natalie takes place.
If he didn't have that necklace, he'd be gone.
I wonder if he would give Nat his necklace.
Why would it benefit him giving me the necklace?
Nat, tell him that if he were to give you the necklace, that would redeem him and we would vote for Amanda.
Who would fall for that? Like, I feel
Jason.
stupid listening to you guys right now. I'm like,
Ozzy, Jason, and Erik.
So now there's much more context to that harebrained scheme she threw at him. Suri straight up says no matter what, if Erik gives up the necklace, he's gone. She even tells Amanda and Parvati at Tribal Council, lay it on thick, which is why we see them gaslighting Erik so hard in front of the jury. It's a masterclass in manipulation. But then when everyone goes to vote, we see that clip I showed you at the beginning of this video.
I am voting for Parvati. You gotta take some risks sometime and hope people keep their word.
I don't even know what to say, but thank you.
My mother always told me, you may not be able to beat him with these all the time, but you can always beat him with this. Sorry.
You know, you're crazy. You officially go down as the dumbest survivor ever in the history of Survivor ever.
I really like Erik. He made the logo for this YouTube channel, so I am a little biased. He seems like a good guy who is a little goofy, but definitely a character who stands out whenever the show does put a focus on him. He was Ozzy's sidekick for a while until he became a full-fledged character who unfortunately was taken advantage of by so many experienced players. He is the first open superfan we have ever seen play, in the sense that this is a part of his character on the show, and it instantly makes him relatable, as this is not his defining trait, just a part of who he is. He is lovable, and nothing says that more than what he says after he's being voted off.
Damn, they got me. Those girls finally realized that Erik's full of crap and they wanted to send me back to hell. I should have known better. I had this option. I had a guaranteed spot in the Final 4, and then Natalie worked me over, and I should have known that their word wasn't good because my word wasn't good to them. I should have known better. Playing this game is nothing like watching this game. If you want to judge somebody from your couch,
You can go ahead and do that, but you have no idea what you're judging. You have no idea what you're looking at.
He didn't do much before the Amy vote out, but once he got her out, he was playing a solid post-merge game, surviving blindsides and winning immunities when needed. If he doesn't give up the necklace to Natalie, he doesn't win the game, but he had a chance to set the final two, because this season does pop a surprise final two on them all. The question is, would it matter if he sat next to Suri, Amanda, or Parvati? I don't think so. Now on Ponderosa, where everyone goes to after they get voted out of the game, Erik gets made fun of by James and Ozzy, especially James, who says he is the dumbest survivor ever. I think James is simply relieved somebody did something worse than what he did last season when James was voted out with 2 idols in his bag.
You took off the life vest, baby.
I got tricked.
If it had been you, Natalie, Serene, I would have voted for you.
You just got screwed by 4 chicks.
I had Final 4 in my hands.
He took a life vest off in the middle of a hurricane and gave it to somebody else who was in a boat.
Now, Erik giving up immunity to Natalie was a big moment that was talked about outside the show in social circles and online, but the show didn't mention it. Not at all for 4 seasons. And then Heroes versus Villains is happening, an all-returning season featuring some of the biggest characters in the show's history, and now is when they bring up Erik giving away immunity to Natalie. Did you know he did that? The first time we see it is on the TV Guide preview for the season when they say it is the number 4 of the top 15 moments in the show's history. Then again on the anniversary special, Surviving Survivor, and they got Coach of all people, talking about how dumb it was for Erik to give up immunity. Really? Coach? He wasn't even there. But when the season finishes, the Heroes vs. Villains reunion features the 5 dumbest moves ever on Survivor. 4 of the 5 players that they show are already on the season, so they had to be at the reunion no matter what. Whereas Erik was dragged there with one purpose and one purpose only.
We've been conducting a poll to see who the audience think has made the dumbest move over the past 20 seasons of Survivor. Where is Erik? Erik, wow, with a new haircut. Oh my gosh. We don't recognize him anymore, the ice cream scooper. All right, here are the dumbest moves. Take a look at this, flashback.
Erik, you have the individual immunity necklace. As always, you can give it up to somebody if you choose to.
I want to give individual immunity to Natalie.
The 13th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury, Erik.
During his season, Brandon gave up his immunity necklace. But one of the most infamous blunders was on the original Fans vs. Favorites, when then fan Erik gave away immunity and was voted out by a strong female alliance.
In the first Fans vs. Favorites, Erik was a fan. Now he's a favorite. That's how big an impact he made that season.
It was a pretty big blunder. For about a year, I replayed it over and over, and I had trouble sleeping sometimes.
39 days, 20 people, 1 survivor.
Did you know that Erik gave away individual immunity to Natalie? Wow, I had no idea. Hopefully, I am reminded at least once an episode this season about this, lest I forget. Erik is back for the sequel to his last season, and no one else from the first Fans vs. Favorites is here. That's right, he's the only one. Will he find redemption, or will Natalie appear out of the bushes and force him at knife point to give her his immunity necklace? Well, on a serious note, Erik made the logo for the channel, and unlike Natalie, I paid him and didn't vote him off 2 seconds later. Just want to mention that because I think it's always a fun thing to mention when I get the chance. But seriously, since Micronesia, the only thing anyone talks about with Erik is how he gave up individual immunity to Natalie. I mean, look at the Heroes vs. Villains reunion. They pulled him out of the woodworks to make fun of him. Basically, the preseason press, and then even when Jeff reintroduces us to him this season, it's all about how he gave individual immunity to Natalie. Like nothing else is mentioned. Nothing. At this point, it feels like a meme. Does Erik have more dimensions than that one move? Yes. Watch his first video. There's so much more to Erik. But that's all anyone remembers is that one move. Their favorites tribe wins reward, and at their camp, Philip Shepard makes a proposition to Erik.
I'm looking at Erik. There's something there that I like. Right now, I think I have the numbers where if I didn't bring you in, let's say, for example, people I'm in line with could still control things here.
Gotcha.
But I want you in. As long as you don't get nervous.
See, sometimes I do get a little nervous, but
I'm just a messenger. I was sent. I'm an errand boy.
All right.
So don't think you're gonna run back there and say, guess what? Because
Yeah, I'm
you're
not.
the wrong person.
Philip basically approached me on the first day and he said, you can be with me and we have the numbers, or you can be against me and I have the numbers anyway. Maybe he does have the numbers. Maybe Philip does have enough people that he can control the game. I don't want to be with him. He's a combative idiot loser who makes everybody crazy.
Is Philip crazy? Well, that's what we saw last time when he played, and it seems like Erik is just not willing to work with him. But at the end of the day, agreeing to all alliances is the smart move, even if it's being offered by Philip. Now, why is that? Well, you just never know, because as it turns out, Philip has formed the majority alliance on this tribe under the name Stealth R Us, and because Erik basically said no, he's not in on it. Their tribe then loses immunity, and it is all down to which side will win, Philip's or Francesca, because yes, we're doing the same exact battle from Redemption Island where it was Philip versus Francesca, except this time, Boston Rob is not here to tip the scales. Erik then talks to Brandon Hance about how Philip is being bossy, and Brandon does not like this. In fact, Brandon is thinking of playing the opposite of how he did last time and going full villain. Uh-oh. So they all vote at Tribal, and
First vote, Andrea. Andrea. 3 votes, Andrea. Andrea. That's 4 votes, Andrea. Francesca. 2 votes, Francesca. That's 3 votes, Francesca. Francesca. We're tied. Francesca. First person voted out of Survivor fans versus favorites. Francesca. Francesca, the tribe has spoken.
Okay.
do you want to tell me what videos I should make? Well, the patrons on Patreon get to do that every month. You also get to watch everything I make up to 7 months early and join our Survivor Fantasy League if you join us on Patreon. There's a link in the description. Thank you for your support. Now with that, Episode 2 sees Erik on the bottom already. The vote did not go the way his side wanted it to. Not at all. Brandon then tells everyone that they screwed up. That was so mean to vote out Francesca to be the first boot a second time. It's a little funny, but to him it's not funny. He says, Dawn and Cochran, you both will not win this game due to that move. Well, we'll see about that, won't we? Brandon is a ball of energy, and I see why Coach felt like it was a lot of work to keep him contained last time. Brandon is wanting revenge, and I think it's rooted a lot deeper than anything that has actually happened on this season. It's all outside the season that's really got him going.
I'm feeling a little revengeful, okay?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of going Russell Hance style on this right now, man. I feel like Rambo. Like, I honestly feel my uncle's blood running through my body right now. Like it's like the wave, and it's coming back. This is a game, and I'm playing it dirty to the core. I want to go out with a bang.
Erik is one casual dude, and he is the one Brandon has shown talking to the most so far. Their tribe then wins immunity and reward, and then it finally happens. Philip gives Erik a name for the Stealth RS alliance he is in. Well, I guess he's in it now. Philip just kind of like said, hey, here's your name. You're the silent one. And unlike Brenda, who seems happy to be called Serenity and to be a part of the alliance, Erik seems very much like he just doesn't care. Probably because he still doesn't like Philip. Brandon, on the other hand, is getting closer and closer to just popping off on everyone.
If they're not messing with us, that's good news.
Oh yeah, if they are, I'm gonna go ape. You can't cage somebody up, kick the cage, shake the cage, and then let them out the cage and say, hey, now you're a part of the group, and think that that person is gonna seriously be okay with that. There's no way in hell. What would you want me to do if you were voted out?
I don't want you to do anything. If you have a chance, you gotta stick around.
If you get voted out, I'm burning it down. I'm willing to burn some stuff.
Brandon came up with this plan where he wanted to just destroy the camp if there was a chance he was going to get voted out or I was going to get voted out.
Would you help me?
I would help you, I think.
We lose, we bring down the house. And we make a tribal to remember.
All right.
And I'll stand up in tribal and I'll say, I was the coordinator of that.
That's fair. That's fair.
That was a secret scene, but again, I think Brandon's real issues stem from outside this season. They win reward and immunity, and that night, Brandon says, guys, I need to get back to my wife and 2 kids, so please vote me off. Wow. Brandon is only 20 and already has a wife and 2 kids. That's a lot at that age. But then the next morning he says, never mind. I want to stay in this game. I don't want to be voted off. Please do not vote me off. Dude is all over the place. And that leads to Philip and Brandon butting heads where yet again, Philip thinks he is running this tribe and Brandon is over Philip.
This Philip and Brandon rivalry, it's getting to me. I woke up this morning. Who starts the fire? Brandon starts the fire. Who's the only dude in this tribe who can start a fire with a piece of flint? Brandon. So I don't need no old 54-year-old punk bitch telling me don't bite the hand that feeds you. He doesn't feed me. I'm a Hans. I feed me.
No, Brandon. Come on, Brandon. Brandon, out now.
Got him. Stop it.
God, there's lots.
Hey, Phil. Here's a reason to vote me out, you little... Huh? With your stealth all rust bull... Huh? I'm the author of my fate, buddy. I'm the author of my fate.
You can hear Erik pleading with Brandon not to do this, and then him sadly picking up the food off the ground. It's just like, it's tough to watch. It's hard not to feel for Erik and the other people of the tribe. If any player knew Brandon was going to do something like this though, it was probably Erik. I'm not blaming Erik by any means. Brandon clearly went too far, and it's not on Erik whether he got cast on this season or not, and I am sure many people say they will do things that they never do on the show just to blow off steam. So when they go to the immunity challenge, it is decided to forfeit and just vote off Brandon. That's a smart move. Episode 6 brings with it a tribe swap, and Erik lands on the physically stacked Goda tribe. No joke, this tribe is probably gonna win every challenge from here on out. And upon arriving on the Goda beach,
well, Eddie and I are the ones even keeping us in these challenges. They've been trying to vote us out since day 2.
Who has?
Sherry, dude, she's the worst.
She was in line with everybody else but me and him.
Yeah.
Right away, as soon as we hit the beach, Reynolds and Eddie pitched me and Malcolm this idea that, oh, Sherry's on the outside and Sherry as the person that we need to get off the island. So to me, that immediately raises red flags. I look at Reynolds and I think kind of used car salesman. He's got his beautiful baby blue eyes and he's talking the talk, but it's not all it seems.
A good read by Erik. Eddie and Reynolds are actually on the bottom and Sherry was on the top. And speaking of Sherry, as she is talking with the ladies, she says Reynolds is like a used car salesman, which basically unintentionally echoes what Erik said, and proving his read is a correct one. They win immunity. Erik is then the linchpin to help them win reward, and they win immunity again. So now it's time for the merge. We have merged and the favorites are up 8-4 over the fans, but actually, it's not that simple. In fact, it's a bit more complicated. You see, Sherry of the fans has defected to the favorites, and Malcolm and Corinne of the favorites have defected to the fans. Where is Erik? Apparently in the middle. Cochran wins immunity, and back at camp, we get a real glimpse into what kind of strategic game Erik is playing here.
Just point up at me. Okay.
Now, it's disconcerting that my fate in this game right now rests in the hands of Erik the Ice Cream Scooper, a guy who doesn't like strategy, and somebody who's basically proven himself previously to be incompetent at playing this game.
Cool with everything? Mm-hmm. This thing's happening like we have the numbers already, so I'll just vote for Erik.
Malcolm came up to me and goes, vote for Sherry. But Andrea said, vote out Corinne. I have no idea what's going on, but I feel like I'm the swing vote. So I'm suddenly becoming a very valuable player, which is so cool. I just wish I knew what I was gonna do.
So Erik is being told by others what to do in this game. I mean, Andrew just like pointed the flag and that's his whole strategic move. How will this garner respect from the jury? I understand how it could get him to Final 3 as he will be seen as a GOAT and get him $85,000, but how can anyone win playing a game where others just tell them what to do? Andrea even says Erik has purposely not been talking strategy with anyone. And as far as we have seen, this is true. Like, it's not just Andrew's perception. This is what we have seen as well. While Erik seems to be the same goofy guy from last time, this is not the same guy who would kick it into gear when needed to on Micronesia. So they all voted tribal and Corinne is voted off. Erik ultimately sides with the side that has the numbers, and when his team wins reward, an interesting idea is proposed on said reward.
Last fans versus favorite was dominated by women and began to. How cool would it be though if it was dominated by guys?
The guys did all the winning out.
Fiercely, Cochran. 3 warriors, 3 united votes. We're a voting bloc.
You know, Survivor's all about there's like a handful of legendary moves that people have never forgotten. You want to be one of those.
Survivor big moments. I like that. Reynold, Eddie, and Michael must not know me that well. They think that emphasizing the testosterone unity between us, and we're men and we hate women, and we're gonna, you know, slap each other with towels in the locker room and chug beers. That doesn't work with me. It doesn't appeal to me at all. I don't want to be engaging in any sort of masculine tomfoolery with these numbskulls.
Dude, how can Erik be present for a conversation about an all-male Black Widow Brigade, and yet the show gets nothing from him? They don't ask him a question. They don't show him talking about it. Nothing. Even if it was a blow-off, like I'm clearly not doing that. Nothing from Erik. Literally, the one person who was screwed over by this iconic alliance. The iconic alliance is brought up with him being a part of it, supposedly, and they don't get anything from him. The storytelling this season, let me tell you, it's baffling. But as we see in this secret scene,
it fits perfectly to my ear. It's wonderful. I think it's good reception out here for a shell phone. Basically, my strategy has been take the strategic bureaucracy and let somebody else handle that, because I don't want to do it and I'm not good at it and I don't like to do it. But in the meantime, I've been bored to death. So the majority of my days have been sitting on the beach, waiting for food to be fed to me and making up stuff as I go along, like making up the fact that I have a cellular phone out of a seashell. Yeah, they're here. They're just hanging out. Yeah, we're bored to death. Like nothing to do out here. We've been out here for 35 days, and I've been trying to talk to my family on my Caramoan shell phone, which also doubles as a scooper for rice. My shell phone, I mean, is probably the best phone in the Caramoan Islands, at least for me. But I mean, I wish I had a book to read. I wish I had something to eat. There's not much to it at this point.
again, what jury will be impressed by this? I don't know. Brenda wins immunity and Michael is voted out, leaving only 3 members of the Minority Alliance in Malcolm, Eddie, and Reynolds, the 3 amigos. Erik's team wins reward, and while on said reward, there is a pool. Everyone knows that they're dirty and that they need to shower before getting in the pool. Everyone except for one person.
Philip's etiquette is not the best. There's a shower to wash off in, but Philip dives into the pool and gets all this mud and rice and all this horrible dirtiness into the pool. You getting naked?
I'm already naked.
You're naked?
I'm naked.
That's pretty much what Philip has done this whole season. He just jumps in without care for anybody else. I mean, he just does things on his own. I'm really sick of Philip being around.
I'm loving life.
I've watched this season 4 or 5 times now, and every time Erik has talked smack, it's only been about Philip. I could be wrong, but it seems like Philip is really the only one that makes Erik talk in a way that you don't normally hear him talk. And on top of that, it feels like everyone on the season has said something negative about Philip, except maybe Brenda. Brenda really embraces her name's Serenity. Take my love, take my land. So one of the 3 amigos is going to be voted off next until Reynolds wins immunity, Malcolm finds an idol, and at Tribal Council, Malcolm reveals, I not only have 1 idol, I have 2. And now all 3 amigos are safe, and we are voting off Philip. The one guy who Erik clearly doesn't like is being voted off, so sign him up.
If anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now would be the time to do so. You. Eddie and Malcolm both played their idols. Any votes cast for Eddie or Malcolm will not count. First vote, Malcolm. Does not count. Eddie does not count. Malcolm does not count. Eddie does not count. Eddie does not count. Eddie does not count. Philip, 1 vote Philip. 2 votes Philip. 11th person voted out, the 2nd member of our jury. Philip, the tribe has spoken.
Thank you.
Erik is the only one from his alliance to flip on Philip. No one else did this, despite knowing all 3 amigos were likely going to be safe. Will this matter? Will this flip on his alliance matter? Well, Cochran wins immunity, and once again, the 3 amigos are meant to go home, and this time, they have nothing to stop their impending doom. But despite this, Erik sees a possible opportunity for his game.
The stability has been rocked out of the game. Like, the legs have been kicked out under the chair of Stealth R Us, and it opens me up to talking with people that Philip didn't want me to talk to.
If we're 4 with you, boom, we're on our way.
You can take anybody you want. If they're gonna split the vote 3-3, assuming 3-3, me being one of the 3 in that.
Right.
So let's vote with you guys.
Okay.
It'll be 4.
Cool.
I have to keep playing both sides, which I'm excited about, but at the same time I'm terrified.
If I didn't have diarrhea, I wouldn't be so nervous.
I know. I'm with you.
It's just that I'm putting my
totally
whole
with
game in you.
Dawn, I'm really
It's hard. I mean, you know, putting your faith into these people that, you know, as much as I think that Eric's telling the truth, I don't know if he has a different agenda. Like, if he wants to come this game and say, I got fooled by a girl the first time, like, why don't I just flip with the guys?
I know I've implied this, but I'm gonna be straight. I don't understand Eric's game. I know a lot of people joke this season that Brenda did nothing, but I understand the motivation behind what she was actually doing and how she could have won. She wants to go to Final 3 with Dawn and Erik, and I think both of these people are not going to be respected by the jury in a Final 3. In that case, I think Brenda wins, believe it or not. Just watch her story video, I go into more detail there. But with Erik, it feels like a man too scared to play Survivor after having been ridiculed for years and years and years for making one dumb move. So Erik votes with the majority, Malcolm goes, and the next day a note appears saying, we have an immunity challenge today. Erik says, crap, I was hoping just like chill today and do nothing. Erik, isn't that what you're doing every day though? Heck, when the immunity challenge happens, the first sign of food that pops up, Erik's like, yeah, I'm jumping for this. I'm getting those donuts. I will give Erik this as a credit. If the goal is to finish in third and get $85,000, he's nailing that goal. I mean, it could be his goal. I don't really know. Andrea wins immunity and a clue to the idol. So back at camp,
I come from a family of diggers. Guys.
No way!
Right there. We got it. Give me some.
Erik finds the idol, and I'm thinking, fantastic. I can probably tell him what to do with the idol, and he'll do it. And before I even have a chance to start celebrating, he's already handing the idol over to Andrea. Does he learn nothing?
Did you know Erik gave up immunity to Natalie? I can't believe we've gone this far in the season and no one's mentioned it since the premiere. I don't blame Erik here though. Him handing it to Andrea with, by the way, everyone is there witnessing this finding of an idol. Him gifting it to Andrea puts the target on her back and not his. Him having an idol and playing it effectively would basically go against how he has played this entire game. Reynolds is voted out, and at the next immunity challenge,
Erik wins immunity, guaranteed a spot in the final 6. Erik wins immunity. The last time you had the immunity necklace in this game was the first time you played and you gave it away and were voted out. Is there any chance that happens tonight?
I'm way too scared to do that this time. Way too scared.
did you know Erik gave up immunity to Natalie? No one will ever let this fact go, ever. Cochran tells Erik that the plan is Andrea. He says, we need to blindside her and her idol. See, isn't it a good thing Erik handed it to her with all those eyes on her? But then Cochran reminds us that, can I really trust the guy that gave away individual immunity to Natalie? I'm sorry, Erik did what now? How come I've never heard of this? So they all voted tribal and...
First vote, Brenda. Andrea.
What?
Brenda, we're tied. 14th person voted out and the 5th member of our jury.
Oh, you guys.
Andrea, sharp spoken.
This is the penultimate episode. It's episode 13. How can this be the end of Erik's story? No one even wants him out. Do they? Well, the episode begins with Dawn feeling quite torn between going to the final 3 with Cochran or with Brenda. Her choosing Brenda would ultimately favor Erik, while picking Cochran would muddy the waters. It's not guaranteed Erik would be part of the final 3. But Erik has now reached day 70 of his Survivor career, and he isn't as happy as you think he would be.
I should be happy today, but I'm not. I should be really, really happy and content today, but this has been one of the hardest days yet for whatever reason. I feel like I'm in prison right now. I feel like there's just so much time. It's stretched out. I'm miserable here. This is the most beautiful prison I've ever been in my life. I think I can climb that tree. If I take my time, I think I can climb it. And as I'm climbing the tree, I'm thinking, you know what? You could fall out of this tree right now and break your leg, and then you'll leave the game. And that scares the hell out of me, because that's not what I want to do.
I just want food!
No coconuts, though.
I know, E.
I'm mad.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Most I've seen you climb.
Damn it.
Dude needs something to eat bad. This episode is the family visit, and while Eric's brother Kurt was the one who showed up for Micronesia, yes, I went back and checked, this time it's his other brother Richard. Eric says, this changes everything, and now I feel reinvigorated. Not that his other brother came, just seeing his family. Brenda then wins reward, picks Dawn to join her, and then Jeff gives her the ultimate conundrum. Brenda can either pick a third person to join her on reward, or give the reward to the other 4 people, making Brenda and Dawn get nothing. She chooses the latter, and in a plot twist that no one cares about besides Eric and myself, his brother Kurt, who we met on Micronesia, is here too. Nice, they got 2 family members. We then get this heartfelt scene, if the music is any indication, of Dawn being completely, emotionally devastated. Eric, he makes this heart. He cares. Again, how is this Eric's last episode? Dawn wins immunity, and the plan is to vote off Eddie. So they all vote at Tribal, and...
First vote, Eddie. Eddie, 2 votes Eddie. Brenda. Brenda, we're tied. 15th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury. Brenda.
I was honest with you guys. I was genuine with you guys.
Brenda, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
It hurts.
Survivor Finale Sunday. Only 5 castaways remain. Brain, Braun, Sherry, and Dawn.
Every day I'm paranoid. I have to win. They've totally underestimated me.
But a medical emergency
This game just got rocked again.
will knock it down to 4.
This could be my game for the taking.
This time around, I'm ready to fight. I need to win this game. I'm willing to go any length to snatch that title.
Don't miss the thrilling Survivor season finale.
So Brenda was voted out and Eric made the finale. What gives? The finale even opens up with Jeff again reminding us that Eric gave away individual immunity to Natalie. I mean, holy crap. And he says, this time, Eric says, this time I will not make that same mistake again. Giving away immunity will not be my downfall. Okay, Eric, I guess if you say so, the show won't shut up about it though.
You're clear? What's going on?
My head is killing me and spinning.
What's going on, Eric? You guys just left Tribal a few minutes ago.
Right. In the middle of Tribal, I started to spin, and I didn't even notice it until it was like halfway through it.
I'm concerned that he's in a starvation state. I'm concerned that he's been pushing his body so hard, and his body compensates, that's what they do. But they reach a certain point where they can't compensate anymore. The fact that he's been dizzy and has almost passed out makes me think there's not enough blood going to his head. His pulse is very slow here, that's concerning. I understand the risks and rewards of this game, but in this case, no, you're not going.
Dr. Joe, you've officially pulled Eric from the game. Brother, after 36 days, in your 2nd time playing, your 2nd time, you're not going to finish this one either.
Eric is medically evacuated in 5th place, the same spot he finished in last time. I guess he lived up to what he said though. He said, I'm not going out the same way again, and he's right. I believe he was guaranteed Final 3. I think Eddie was next to go, and I can see a world where he takes Sherry's spot in the Final 3 instead of her being there, and doesn't ironically ask her what she did this season when he would have been asked the same thing if he reached the Final 3. So the real question is, what really happened with Eric? Well, in a video he released in 2020, he explains.
So around day like 15 or 16, somewhere in the middle, we were coming down a hill on the Goda Beach to the ocean to then swim around. There was this area that had a lot of big rocks and coral reef, and a wave came up and hit me along with everybody else, but when the wave hit me, it pushed me over and it cut my leg open. So like right in the middle of my shin, it was cut open. Day 35, go to tribal council, and I talked to Joe. He did all the vitals and all the stuff, and he said, you know, you do have an infection going on. I want you to take some penicillin. And I didn't know this until after everything, but I'm allergic to penicillin, and combined with being malnourished and dehydrated, it can have a really negative impact on you. I took the penicillin pill like right before we went to tribal council. The entire tribal council was like a blur. I thought Sherry was voted out, even though really Brenda was voted out. And I remember when Brenda got her torch snuffed, I didn't realize she was getting her torch snuffed. She was just waving to everybody. And so I was like, oh, hi, Brenda. And I waved to Brenda. And I honestly thought Sherry was voted out. I actually had a reaction to penicillin combined with dehydration and malnourishment
to simplify this whole video.
Now, to me, that was just the mere important information, but I will link the full 11-minute video down in the description if you want all the information Erik has for you. Gone in 5th place again. By hook or by crook, Erik keeps getting eliminated in the same spot over and over. I will say that Erik seemed to be the same person as last time, except he played scared. In my opinion, his gameplay was on max conservative mode simply due to being ripped over and over and over for years for giving away individual immunity to Natalie. Did you know he did that? He got infamously screwed, ridiculed, and then decided to try and do nothing, in my opinion. Again, a guaranteed 3rd place game for 85K, but not a winning strategy. Did you know he gave away individual immunity to Natalie? I know that sounds like a joke at this point, but when Suri comes back to play on season 34 Game Changers, the moment is highlighted again, since she played a big part of the move. So at least I guess it contextually makes sense, but then again, 2 seasons later, Ghost Island happens, a season based around new players trying to redeem past advantages and idols that were not played correctly. And in episode 6, as you might have guessed it, the necklace Erik gave away to Natalie is now a hidden immunity idol. And did you know Erik gave away immunity to Natalie? Wendell finds it and plays it later on in the season, and it doesn't save anyone. Amazing. So again, I guess that has some context, like it makes sense, but holy cow, here we are 20 seasons later, like dragging this guy through the mud. And I say that because we go to the Ghost Island reunion where Erik is dragged on a stage by Jeff with one purpose and one purpose only.
But let me tell you something. Nobody was happier than James when this happened in season 16, 10 years ago. Take a look.
Erik, you have the individual immunity necklace. As always, you can give it up to somebody if you choose to.
I want to give individual immunity to Natalie.
The 13th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury, Erik.
I forget that Erik made it to Final 5, lasted 36 days, both times he played, won challenges. I mean, you're an all-star player. Yeah. So we're reframing history right now.
This has to be the end, right? How many more times can Erik's name be dragged through the mud for a laugh and a smile? Ghost Island is 10 years and 20 seasons later. Surely we can move on from here, right? Wrong. Season 39 features a new twist, Island of the Idols, where Boston Rob and Sandra are idols on an island, giving advice to the players who were unfortunately sent there that week. In episode 4, Nora goes there, and can you guess where this is leading? Boston Rob says, I'm going to teach you the art of persuasion, and the example used is the time Erik gave up immunity to Natalie. Does Boston Rob or Sandra specifically mention this moment? No, they don't even talk about it at all, but the editors throw it in anyways. Dang, dude cannot catch a break. And that is especially true given there's a special episode that aired the week before Winners at War, covering the show's greatest moments. And of course, did you know that Erik gave away immunity to Natalie? Parvati narrates the move, despite the fact that she did the least out of everyone by far, and it takes up 10% of the special's runtime. No other moment during the special gets that much screen time, and this happened 24 seasons ago. Holy cow. Now, this is where the video originally ended. I edited it, rendered it, published it, and forgot all about it until a miracle happened. Survivor isn't even airing when this happened. The Australians pulled it out. What do I mean? Well, Australian Survivor versus the World had its premiere episode, and in that season, it features Suri and Parvati, and that can mean one thing and one thing only.
I want to give individual immunity to Natalie.
13th person voted out and the 6th member of our jury, Erik.
So as of the time of this video, this is the last time any Survivor show has brought up this moment, but there is one more chance it could be brought up again that we know of. Suri is going to be on Survivor 50, and do we think Survivor has the willpower to not bring up this move again? You tell me. So what do you think about Erik? Do you want to see him play again on Survivor or another show? Did you know that Erik gave away immunity to Natalie? Let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.
Initially, yeah, that was real dumb. That was way dumb. I mean, off the charts dumb. But when I see what you had to do to make it further, there's part of me that says, I'm not that guy. I don't think I can do that. I mean, I don't have that with my being to treat people the way that needs to be treated to win this game. I mean, certain morals come into play with that.